everyone, welcome back to our next episode of Let's Bake Together. Today we are going to be making another variation on our crispy rice cereal roll-ups. Today's is going to be a white chocolate Oreo. So your ingredients that you're going to need to go get are and marshmallows, as well as Oreos and white chocolate chips. I have sprinkles here because I want to show you a fun trick that I like to do with Rice Krispie treats, but this is not a necessary step. So if you don't have sprinkles, don't worry about it. If you do and you want to try it, you can. Now I have rainbow ones. You can choose to use chocolate. You can choose to use anything that you have. If it's a special time of year, then you can get the holiday ones. Whatever you have, you can choose to use it. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get your butter. I use salted butter. You can use whatever you have on hand. I like the flavor that salted butter brings. That is a tongue twister. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is add your butter and your marshmallows. I'm going to be using these mini marshmallows, but you can use big marshmallows. I'm going to use an entire bag because I'm going to make an entire batch. If you don't want to make an entire batch, you can use less. You can look on the back. This is a 10 ounce, I believe, a 10 ounce bag. And it says that there are 9 sets of 2/3 cup in here, which means that there are 3 cups. So if you want to do a 2/3 batch, just put 2 cups in here, or of the marshmallows in. Otherwise, you can use 1 cup if you want to use a really small batch, or use all 3. I'm going to use all 3. So I'm going to move these out of the way, clear my space, and here we go. I'm going to first pour in all of my marshmallows. And then I'm going to cut in some butter. So I'm going to just cut in 3 tablespoons of butter. Right there. Okay, I'm going to cut that up a little bit because sometimes the marshmallows melt before the butter does. So I'm going to cut that up and just plop this butter right in here. Okay, now I'm going to set this in the microwave for 1 minute. All right, meanwhile, I'm going to get my pan ready. So I'm going to use a jelly roll pan so that I can roll it up really easily. I am going to spray it with cooking spray. You can use parchment paper. You can use a silicone mat. The only thing that I would be worried about is if it sticks, because marshmallow is really sticky. So just spraying this lightly with cooking spray works really well. Okay. Then when you have that, this is the special treat, or the special trick that I'm going to show you. Now, I've done this before with mini chocolate chips. I've done this with M&Ms, mini M&Ms. I've done this with sprinkles, whatever you're going to do. Oh, and you know that the sugar sprinkles that you put, it's like colored sugar. You can also do that, but today I'm going to be using these. So I'm going to just take a handful of this and I'm going to scatter it around my pan evenly. There goes my microwave telling me that my marshmallows are ready. But first I'm going to finish this. Okay. So I'm going to do this. Now this trick can be used for any cake that you are baking. If you're going to bake a cake in any pan, you can sprinkle sprinkles, hey, look at that, before you put the batter in. And then these will be on the top when the cake comes out. However, most cakes you do not flip over, so maybe that won't really come in handy for you, but at least for Rice Krispie treats, this is a fun trick. Okay, I'm gonna go get my marshmallows. All right, and I'm gonna move my pan out of the way for just a minute. Okay. Stir those babies up. We're looking to have the butter completely melted and the Rice Krispies, man, my brain is fried. The marshmallows completely melted. All right. The mini marshmallows melt a lot faster than regular marshmallows. So these look pretty good. All right, that's ready. Now I'm gonna get my Rice Krispies ready and some Oreos ready. So before I do the Rice Krispies, I've got a pack of Oreos. Obviously, if you don't buy them in bulk like our family and you just have a regular package, just grab some. I'm gonna start with probably, because I'm doing a full batch, I'm gonna start with 6 Oreos, okay? I'm gonna grab my marshmallows again and I'm going to just crush these into my marshmallows. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to add my Rice Krispies. This recipe will call for 6 cups of Rice Krispies, but because I put in all of those Oreos, I'm just going to start with 4 cups, and then I'm going to see how that looks, and I might add some more Rice Krispies at the end. So that's 3 if I don't count out loud. I forget. And here's 4. Okay. So now, let's stir that up. I have an audience of 3 children who cannot wait until this video is over and they get to taste the goods, the fruit of our labors. All right, so as I look at this, I'm looking for the web. You see that web as I pull that? But you see these clumps right here? Too much marshmallow. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more Rice Krispies. I don't like it when I have too much Rice Krispies because then it's dry. But I also don't like it when I have too many marshmallows because then it's too gooey to really enjoy. Now, everybody has different taste buds, everybody has different preferences, and so if you like it more gooey or you like it more Rice Krispy-y, then you do whatever you like to do. I'm just gonna add that bit in and go through here. The thing I'm always looking for is that those webs are still there. You see those nice webs? As long as I keep having webs, I'm happy. Okay, so there's that. Now, the truth of the matter is this pan that I'm using is too big for what we're doing. I'd need to double this batch in order to fully fill my pan with Rice Krispies. Or Rice Krispie treats. And I know that I'm not really supposed to use that word because I'm not even using Rice Krispies. I'm using crispy rice cereal from Aldi. But we know what we're talking about. All right, so there it goes. And now I'm going to put this into my pan and spread it out. I want to spread it out thin, but not too thin. It needs to stay together. So I'm going to plop it in the center. Kind of plop it everywhere so that I don't have to spread around my, oh, you can't even see. See, I'm not good at holding my bowl. But I don't want to have to smush my sprinkles all over the place by having to spread my Rice Krispie stuff everywhere. So scrape that all out as best you can. Save your bowl for later. As much as you don't want to scrape out, you get to eat on your own. You don't have to share. You did the work. Unless you're me, then you have 3 little birds who are going to eat it before you even get a chance. Right, birds? All right. So now, what I'm going to do, look, my hands are covered in Oreo. I'm going to just lightly press this. If you need to butter your hands in order to not have this stick to you, go for it. Rice Krispies are awesome because they're not going to spread around from baking. So I am going to add a little bit of butter to my hands. I'm just going to take some butter and rub it here. And rub it together. And then I'm going to press this. Anyway, Rice Krispies are great because they don't spread when they're baking, which means whatever shape you end in is the shape they're going to stay in. And so I can use a big pan and fill it as much as I need. I don't have to really worry about it filling the entire thing. But I don't want it to be too thick. So I'm gonna make sure that I keep it pressed down. And I do really want it to stay in as much of a rectangle as possible. And you see sometimes they spread apart and they wanna show the bottom, so I'm gonna kind of just press it back together again. Otherwise, just keep pressing. Okay, and then I'm gonna squish it into a nice rectangle so that it will roll up really pretty. So these sides, you see how there's a little bit of a gap here and a little bit over here. So I'm just going to adjust it and kind of press together, push and press. I don't really like the word kinda because people say kinda when they mean that that's exactly what they are really gonna do. So, oh well. So here we go. Press, press, press. There we go. And now that's how I like it. So, is yours done? If it's done, set it aside. Now it's time to put the white chocolate chips to work. So you're gonna need another microwave safe bowl. Grab your bowl, and you're gonna take your white chocolate chips. I'm gonna use a cup and a half of white chocolate chips. Pour them in. And I eyeball a lot of stuff. If that frustrates you, I'm really sorry. You can be more precise, but I'm not gonna be. And you know what? I just noticed that there's just a little bit left in my bag, so I'm gonna use the whole kit and caboodle. Otherwise, then I have to like leave it in the bag, and that's boring. So we're gonna have extra white chocolate chips. Is that all right, guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna put this in the microwave for a minute. All right, while things are microwaving, we can clean up just a little bit. I'm gonna scrape things out of the way so we have a nice working surface. Then you're gonna grab your Oreos. I'm also gonna wash my hands. All right, as I was washing my hands, I realized, why am I washing my hands? I'm about to crush more Oreos, but still, they feel a lot better. They don't have marshmallow on them anymore. Okay, so here in my package, I have another 6 Oreos. 6 Oreos will be just fine, or you could do 8, or you can do 10, or you can do 5, or you can do as many as you want. Now in my Rice Krispies, I already have Oreos. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these Oreos and we're gonna crush them on top of the white chocolate, which we're gonna spread all over this. So you get to decide how many Oreos you want to add to your dessert. Now, if you don't have very many, don't use very many. If you have enough to like feed the world, use as many as you want. All right, so my chocolate just beeped. Yours probably did too. I got it out of the microwave and I'm gonna now stir it together. White chocolate is very soft. It's not even white chocolate, it's just vanilla baking chips, which is kind of lame because you'd think, oh yay, more chocolate, but it's not. Anyway, so I'm gonna mix this up. But you see, even though I had it in for a whole minute, it's not done yet, so it needs to go back in. So I'm gonna put it in for 20 more seconds. Pop that in the microwave for 20 more seconds, or if yours is not looking as mushy as mine, or then only put it in for 30. If it's looking more mushy than mine, maybe you only want to put it in for 15. All right, now you want to get a spatula probably so you can scrape out all of that white chocolate when it comes out of the microwave. I have a lot of spatulas. I guess I'm going to use my Christmas spatula today, even though it's May. All right, there's my chocolate. And here we go. So I'm going to stir that up. Oh, that's looking good, perfectly good. Now, in the last episode, we made s'mores Rice Krispie roll-ups, and I left some lumps of chocolate instead of stirring this until it was completely melted or continuing to heat it. And it was so delicious when we tried it, and there's these little chunks of chocolate. So I'm just going to leave it, even though it looks like most of them are down. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of chunks in there. If you want it all the way smooth, go ahead. So I'm going to now spread this on my Rice Krispies. Okay, and you know, there are certain things I won't leave in the bowl. Chocolate, even though this isn't really white chocolate, is definitely one of them. It's just too good to waste. All right, so now I'm going to spread this all over my Rice Krispies. You're gonna wanna pull it from the center rub it all the way to the edges. Leave a little bit of the edge because it is going to press. And we're gonna go all the way out as much as we can. Now I see that an entire package of white chocolate chips doesn't spread totally easily over this because it's not very much. However, just keep working at it. You can maybe scrape it a little bit, get these sides that have more, and get it in there. It'll be okay. Now we do want to work semi-quickly right now because we want to roll this up before the white chocolate all sets. I can also see right here that my Rice Krispies are separating. And so I'm going to have this lovely pool of white chocolate, which who's complaining about that? I call that peace. But I don't want to waste the white chocolate if my Rice Krispies are getting wider and longer and therefore requiring more and not letting me spread it. So I'm just going to press it back together, keep scraping, spreading, pressing. Here we go. All right, so now that I've got that everywhere, I'm going to take my Oreos again. Here's my, let me drop one. Here's my Oreos. I'll turn this for a better view. And now I'm going to crush these again. And just crush, crush, crush. Now if you've got smaller hands, you can put this in a bag if you don't want to get them messy. You can put them in a blender, but then you get crumbs, and I like having chunks. So you see that? You know, I think you can even buy Oreo crumble. I don't know why you'd want to do that unless you really hate crushing things. You know, maybe that is unpleasant. And then I'm just going to spread this around. Okay? If you have big pieces, you can break them up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful, but you know, honestly, that's pretty beautiful. Okay, now that I've got that how I want it, and you could, you know, I can see that I could probably afford to have one more Oreo, but I'm not going to open another package today. Now I'm going to turn it so that I'm rolling again from my short side, long side, short side. And I'm going to tuck that first part in as tight as I can, basically just folding over the lip. Okay, now do you see how my sprinkles are getting rolled up too? This is like a surprise. All right, now I'm just going to continue to roll it, making sure I grab all of it as it comes, and roll, roll, roll. And one thing I'm noticing is that my hands have Oreos on them, and those Oreos are getting on my roll. So if you're looking for a really pretty roll at the end that has no hint whatsoever of Oreo crumbs, you might want to wash your hands as you go or before you keep going, but I don't really care because we're just going to eat it and that makes us happy. So I'm just going to keep rolling. Roll, roll, roll. Sounds like a song. Roll, roll, roll your boat. Wait. Okay, here we go. And there's the spot where my Rice Krispies started separating and I've got white chocolate oozing out. I'll turn this around so you can continue to see as I roll it now from this direction. All right, there we go. Press it together a little. If it starts coming loose in any way, that's fine. Just press it. It's fine. Just keep going. Cooking is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable, exciting, wonderful. Look at those sprinkles. Oh my word, that looks fun. Okay, so I'm gonna just press my log together. Now the white chocolate right now is very, very soft, and therefore I don't want to cut it ordinarily yet. I'd want it to harden. But you can shape it however you want to. If you've got some flaws or whatever, if you want to take some of these extra sprinkles and you want to press it in there or whatever you want to do, go for it. Now's a good time to do it because you still can manipulate it. But then once I've got it in the shape that I want, and it's firm enough like that, I can let it sit probably maybe 20 minutes and that white chocolate is going to firm up pretty well. But before it does, because I'm wanting to show you what it's like, I will ruin mine so you don't have to ruin yours to find out what the inside looks like. So I'm just going to slice this open right now. And my son is pointing to himself saying he gets the first piece. And so there's the inside. There it is. beautiful and exciting, and it's going to be even more beautiful once you've let it sit and that white chocolate gets hard. Thank you for cooking with me today. I think that was fun. I hope you love it and that your family loves it and that this is something you can make anytime by yourself, without help, with help, if you're just wanting to make something fun. Enjoy it, and let's bake again another time.